Queens get the money. Queens get the money. Queens get the money. Queens get the money, yeah. I'ma knock it out the park with this one. I'ma knock it out the park with this one, yeah. I'ma knock it out the park with this one. Queens get the money. Queens get the money.
Welcome to Queens Get the Money. My name is Barry Grant Jr. My good friend Tom Greer is here. Silent Assassin is not here, but she's here in spirit. Did you see that intro video? That was pretty good.
It was great.
Shouts to the Silent Assassin for that one. That is going to be the intro song or intro video for Queens Get the Money going forward. We don't have a lot to discuss here, Tom, but we are going to break down Mets and the Giants. The Mets beat up the Giants in that series, won that series. And what are your takeaways just on the surface of the actual series? What do you got?
I think that was the series that we all needed to see. I think that this was a series that I kind of expected it because I knew that the Giants pitching really wasn't all that. It wasn't there. Like if the Giants have anything weak about them, it's that they have no pitching. So I would have been really concerned. Like I would have been more concerned than you probably should be this far in if the Mets bats did not wake up. And I thought that the Mets showed that they got a lot of guts because they were able to do that. Because not more seasons than not, if a guy like Juan Soto winds up on the IL or not playing most of the series, you're expecting to lose that series. You're expecting the bats to just stay quiet, and the Mets found ways to win. So I'm thrilled. I think I tweeted it or I commented under one of your posts. Or I said I think it was Mark Vientos. I said, got afraid of the Mission to Mars segment and doesn't want to go to space. I think a lot of the Mets lineup saw that segment and was like, okay, I don't want to get sent off to Mars. Let's get going.
I think the one that really listened to it was Marcus Semien. Semien woke up, which was great to see. I mean, my takeaways was stepping up, right? Because with all the pressure, you can tell that the bats were tight. You can tell that they were pressing early in the season, which is just ridiculous. But I understand that, there's a lot of expectation for this team. But what you saw was, Jerry Young being inserted into the lineup and him being able to have success. Marcus Semien being able to work counts and getting some hits. Mark Vientos getting in there and looking like he found his confidence, right? The pitching being able to step up, like seeing Clay Holmes go 7. I mean, what?
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Like, is he not probably the best bargain in baseball in regards to pitching salary?
I saw somebody tweet that it might be one of the best bargain moves the Mets have ever made. Yeah. Like it's crazy to think. Million? It's crazy to think because there were just so many people dumping on that contract last year, which I understand because It almost feels like whenever the Mets try to experiment with something, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work out. So immediately like, oh, cool, you're gonna go get a Yankee cast off and you're gonna make him a starter. That sounds crazy. Right. Well, I mean, like he turns out to be pretty valuable. Like I can't think of a team that wouldn't say, maybe outside of the Dodgers, but I can't think of a team that would say, I don't want Clay Holmes as my 3 or 4 starter. Like that's crazy.
And what you're gonna start seeing now, if he ends up really maximizing his stuff under this contract, more teams are going to start doing this. More teams are going to start looking at guys that are not necessarily old, but have had experience, whether they be in the bullpen or they were starters, and then transition them to something else. Remember, we talked about it, right? Like I talked about it, like if a starting pitcher is starting to not find any type of success or consistency starting, then why not just go to the bullpen? Why not just convert your game so you can be able to stretch your career out a little bit more? Yeah, it's not high-end money. You're not getting $20-25 million, but at least you can be able to get, if you're a quality reliever, $10 million, $8 million, right?
Yeah.
So, there's life after being a starter, or there's life after, being a failed closer and having people, criticize you to say what's next for you. Well, maybe this is what it is for Clay Holmes. And it's been gold for him. So shouts to Clay Holmes for being able to be impressive in the series. Senga, to me, is just, this is the guy I missed.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
This is the guy I missed. Like, you know what I mean? The ghost pitch is working well. Fastball is electric, and there's confidence. Like, you can have the stuff all you want, right? Like, you can have the mechanics, you can have the velocity, but the confidence, you can tell that he has it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing, right? Same thing with Mark Vientos. You can tell that there's something different about him, that maybe Eric Chavez was the one that was fucking with him too much last year. Maybe the fact that there was so much added pressure for what he did the year prior, he just didn't know. There is something called a sophomore slump for guys, right? Maybe he now has the confidence, and we saw that. So my takeaway is that I just love the way the team rebounded and bounced back.
Oh, yeah.
From just a really abysmal start, right?
Yeah.
It's early, nobody was really panicking, but it's good to see that they are aware of how bad it was, and they course corrected right on the spot.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Really, really love that. Somebody's gonna have to check Nolan McLean for, I'm not saying PEDs, but there's something going on with him. Like, he is Henry Rowan Gardner on steroids. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He did that. Rosenbagger, get in here. Like, he is the man. I don't know if you saw that video. A guy broke it down where the release point is the same. The ball is heading the same way, and then both balls do this.
I don't get it.
It's insane.
The thing that did scare me a little bit was when he came out in the 6th, right?
Yeah.
That it started to look like he was losing the strike zone a little bit. But
I mean, that's natural, right? Because you got to remember, he's still young, and he's still learning how to stretch out, right?
Yeah.
So they may not want him to go 6 consistently this year. They may want to keep it kind of, low key, like let's not kill his arm, let's not, like, you know what I mean? Because there's a build-up process.
That's true.
A freak.
No, but I always think of it like I guess you can't really equate the sports.
Armand said McLean is using Vaseline.
Whatever he's using, keep using it. If you can get it past the umps, just keep using it.
Exactly.
But it's like I think I feel like they have to walk a tightrope with that. Like I don't want to not try to push him, because then his body becomes accustomed to that, and then you can't push him.
I don't know. I just that's just the way that's just the way they do pitchers nowadays, Tom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like,
I know, I hate it.
I do too. I do too. I'm a believer of old school. If you got the arm, you throw as much as you can. But there's just it's so different nowadays. You know what I'm saying? That they have this program for everybody. We don't get it. We'll never get it. But if it works, then it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I really thought that. Honestly, I usually don't start really thinking no hitter, like, ever. Like, even when we're getting into like the 7th and 8th, I'm like, they're gonna get a hit at some point. Clean start, I was like, oh wow, I think he might get this today. Like, he was just the movement on his pitches. There was I don't remember who it was on the Giants. I can't remember his name, but McLean strikes him out. I think he was looking. The ball looks like it's gonna hit him like in the midsection, I think, and then just immediately cuts into the inside corner. And he looks back at the dugout like,
what am I supposed to do with that?
What am I supposed to do with that? And it's just it's unreal. Like we say a million times, the dude throws wiffle balls, and I don't know how he does it.
He's special. He really is special.
Evan Roberts had my favorite tweet of the night that night. He said these I'm going to paraphrase, but he said these McLean / DeGrom comparisons need to stop, because the Mets would never give DeGrom a 4-run lead. And I was like, you're right.
It's true. It is true.
He doesn't understand this. He doesn't understand the struggle. Yeah, that's okay. So Rafi Devers, Armand, thank you for bringing that up, because I remembered. What I loved about this series also was that, sure, Giants pitching is not all there. The Mets offense had to wake up there. So that's encouraging.
Yeah.
What was even more encouraging was the Giants don't have a scrub offense. Like their lineup's pretty good.
No, it's pretty good. Yeah.
So the fact that the pitching was able to, they were able to beat up on the Pirates. Great. The Pirates stink.
Yeah.
You're okay against the Cardinals. I'm still giving that more to the offense than I am the pitching.
Right.
To go out and do it again against a really good lineup makes me happy. Makes me really happy and confident.
Yeah, 100%. What are the things that you didn't like in the series?
David Peterson. David Peterson. He upset me a little bit. I'm obviously not going to go too crazy because it's only his second start, but I wanted to see more out of him. I really like David Peterson, and he's really, like, for me, he's really the only negative on the series outside of Juan Soto. But like as far as performances go, it's definitely him.
Yeah. It's Peterson has always been to me very very hot and cold, right? Yeah. Like that's just who he is. We did the preview show, and I truly believe that he's gonna have an ERA that's over 4. That's just the way I see his season going. Does that mean that it's bad? No, it's just the fact that he's just. I don't look at David Peterson as a 4 guy. Any higher than a 4. Like if he's 4, cool. He's not a 3. He's not a 2. Yeah. Put him in 4. If you have him in 4 or 5, you're okay. I don't expect anything more out of David Peterson. If he can be able to give us length, if he can be able to go 6 innings and give up 3-4 runs, I'm okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Because we have the offense that we can be able to deal with that. So I'm not going to be too low on him just because I just don't have high expectations for him in the first place.
I think it was mostly because Peterson pitched the first game of the series. He pitched the first game of the series because that's the only game they lost.
Yeah,
I'm right.
Yeah, Armand said if Peterson catches that toss at first, might have won the game, and we're talking about a sweep. Yeah, exactly. But that's the breaks of baseball, and it sometimes it comes down to one play, one mistake, and but we'll take the route of 4. We're all right.
Oh no, yeah, I'll definitely take definitely take the route of 4. But I mean, like I think I was down on Peterson simply because at that point the offense was still non-existent for the most part. So I'm looking at it like, damn, Peterson, if our offense isn't going to be all there right away, like if we're going to need to start like relying on the pitching a little bit, I'm going to need you to give me more than what you gave me in that first game, especially when you're looking for him to be a stopper because you had already dropped 2, looking to not go on a 3-game losing streak. You want, okay, you know what, Peterson, he looked pretty good in his first start. Go do it again a second time. And he just couldn't. So that was a little discouraging. But again, it's still dumb early. I'm not going to totally fall on David Peterson yet. Plus, I don't want to give them any reason to take Minaya out of this role that he's been in because Mendy brought it up at the end of the game, which I thought was really good. One of the games that I thought was really good was that Minaya kind of saved the series a little bit. Okay. Peterson didn't have it. And in the first game, Mendy probably would have had to start burning bullpen arms, but he was like, you know what? I got to get Sean Manaea into a game. Let me get him in. And he was able to give the Mets a little bit of length, and he didn't have to start going to the highlight. He didn't have to go to Brooks Raley. He didn't have to go to anybody. Manaea took care of it, and then he was able to save the rest of the bullpen for the rest of the series. Like, Manaea is a really like sneaky, unsung hero of this whole thing.
What are your thoughts about that particular role for him as the season goes on? Do you think that you just keep him there, or do you have the hopes that he can be able to get his velo up consistently that you put him back in the pitching rotation?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think to be honest with you, I think it totally depends on right now. It totally depends on how Peterson's pitching, and it depends on how the rest of that bottom of the rotation's going. Like if Senga ends up not showing that if he doesn't just continue doing what he's done the past 2 starts, if Clay Holmes doesn't do what he's done the past 2 starts, maybe it's one of them, but I mean, if one of these guys can't hang, Manaea is going to have to take that spot. But I like having him there. He had success doing it last year, and I like having a guy that's exactly what you said. A guy that's at the latter half of his career, the back end of his career, trying to resurrect his career or save his career. Let him be the in case of emergency break glass. If this guy doesn't have it, I have a guy that I know or theoretically know should be able to give me some length and some quality innings. So I leave him right where he is.
Yeah, there's experience there. You know, it's. I don't think that it's a bad role. I think if he embraces it, I think he's gonna get a lot out of it. Just because you're gonna be relied upon to be able to get some big outs here, or be able to give us some length out of the starting pitching, right? If a guy gets in trouble and he can only go 3 1/3, then hey, get Manaea in here so he can be able to figure this out, and now we can be, like you said, we can be able to kind of rest the bullpen. We don't have to go to our high end arms and high leverage on. We can be able to use Manaea to be able to go deep into this game, especially if he's in a groove. So I don't think it's a bad role. I think it's a role that he should definitely accept and embrace, because I think that that's going to be his best way of helping this team. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that there's anybody else that can be able to be utilizing that role outside of him on this team. Or, maybe Tobias Myers, right?
Yeah, that'd be my only guess, would be Tobias Myers, simply because he's had the starting experience before. Yeah. And again, like, look, I'm still not there with Sean Manaea thinking that he's good able to crack this rotation right now.
Yeah, but still down.
But I mean, if he could pitch, like if you can make your pitches, the velo is not like he's not throwing high to mid 90s, but if he can make the pitches and make him and like fool some guys, like I'm not too worried. But yeah, leave him right where he is, long reliever. And if we need to, if a guy doesn't have it, bring him in and he'll clean it up.
Yeah. So Armand said the question should be, when a starter goes to the IL, is Manaea getting the shot, or yeah, that's a great point, right? It's kind of what Tom was saying. Like, depends on if guys sputter or guys get hurt. He's definitely he might have to be the first call, but if Christian Scott is dealing and he's pitching well, you might want to see what he has for a spot start, and then have Manaea back him up, right? I don't think I'm comfortable with the reverse of having Manaea start and then have Christian Scott be the relief, right? You want to have experience being able to come in there and relieve the game, just in case the kid gets rocked or whatever it is, or he's losing his control or command. So I would prefer it that way. I think, like I said, if it were up to me, no injuries, I would keep Manaea in this role, just because it's a really, really good role to have him, because you can be able to trust him in that role.
Totally. But I do, Armand, for me, I think it absolutely ends up being Sean Manaea. And I think it also ends up being Sean Manaea because we already know, I'm pretty sure we know this, that Manaea was not necessarily happy with this role idea. Like, he wants to be a starter. Yeah. And I think Sean Manaea has earned enough with the Mets to get that benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? Like, where it's like, I'm not going to go call up this kid, Christian Scott, when I know we're paying you to do it. You're right here. You want to be a starter. I think they'd give him the opportunity before Christian Scott. But if Manaea doesn't have it, and Scott or Tong is dealing in the minors and they really need it, because I don't think we're seeing Jonah Tong until the end of the season unless they really need it.
I don't want to see him until September, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, give him some starts at the end of the year, hopefully, when those starts don't necessarily matter.
Yep.
Give him those. So I think it'll end up, if somebody knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen. If somebody gets hurt, I think that spot's going to Manaea, just because he's kind of been there, done that with the Mets. And I think they probably want to give Christian Scott a healthy dose of the minor leagues before they even think about bringing him up.
Yeah, definitely. Most impressive series for you, Jared Young or Mark Vientos?
Mark Vientos. It's easy. Mark Vientos for me. Like, I look, the Mets are so good. If the Mets are good for anything, it's finding some like no-name player that's good for like a day, like a couple of games or one series, and then we never hear from him again. I hope it's more of that for Jared Young.
He's already putting up better stats than he did last year, the whole year.
Good. So, how many opportunities did he get last year?
I think he had like what?
Are we counting this in the minors? Because he was in the minors for a while.
Oh, we're just counting majors.
Okay, yeah.
Majors.
Okay.
I think he had 48 at bats last year, 2 home runs.
But like the reason for me that it's Mark Vientos is because you're already kind of skeptical about Mark Vientos' defense because of how he looked at third. He actually looked like a pretty good first baseman.
He impressed me with some of the stabs that he had there.
outside of that throw that got called back, where the runner got called out because it was interference, Vientos should have still caught that ball.
Yeah.
Regardless. Outside of that, I thought Mark Vientos looked like a really good first baseman for what they're asking him to do. And the dude finally started hitting. Like, he was one of the most productive. Like, we were talking, Juan Soto was the hottest hitter on the team at the start of the series. I think it's Mark Vientos right now. Like, that was 2024. Mark Vientos came back. He showed us he can be that guy. And I think that's going to mean more going forward than Jared Young putting up good numbers.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why, when I talked about it earlier, that the confidence that he had, you can tell he just looks like a different person. Not just the production, right? The production is what it is. But just looking at him, right? He looks like a more confident baseball player.
Yeah.
He didn't have that look last year. He just looked like he was just in a funk, not only on the field, but also in his mind. Also, whatever was going on, he just didn't look happy.
No,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And you're just seeing a different guy right now. So, I always said that I never saw him as a third baseman. I always saw him being able to be a first baseman. That was actually his ceiling for me, to be a first baseman, DH. You know what I'm saying? So if he can be able to continue to excel there, off to the races goes his career. You know what I mean? And that's what we want to see. You know what I mean?
I agree. My only thing is I still think, like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Mark Vientos is almost sometimes a little bit of a head case where, like, he does let the outside noise get to him. So, I want to see how much, because again, Mark Vientos is hitting the cover off the ball right now, but there's going to be slumps. There's going to be down moments. And I want to know that Mark Vientos isn't going to let that kill his season. I don't want to see him hit a little bit of a slump. He starts getting in his own head. We start getting some errors at first. The dude's not hitting. And then we have the Mark Vientos that we saw last year, just along with mostly everybody, just moping around. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see the guy that I've been seeing these last couple of games where it's like, nah, you know what? I'm fighting for this play. Like, everybody was ready to give Brett Beatty first base. No, that's mine.
Right.
He wants to do the same thing that he basically did to Beatty at third. But it's like, oh, you want to give Beatty third base? That's mine.
Watch this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I want to keep seeing. And he's just got, like, Mark Vientos just got such a nice swing, a nice smooth swing, that it just looks like any moment he hits, he makes contact, he's going to cream the ball.
And we have a comment here. What does that say? Street K Red 2214. This should be Mark and Beatty's breakout year. Absolutely. This is I agree with that, because these are guys that we're gonna need. These two guys, when you think about it, could possibly be Mets for the next 5, 6, 7 years, right? The new core of what we believe should be, maybe a title or two in those 7, 8 years, right? These are guys that are gonna be a part of that, hopefully. So you want to see them say, okay, this is the start of it now, right? This is our breakout year. This is where we say we want the pressure, give us the ball, give us the opportunity, and we're going to run with it. So hopefully that happens, because I think that these guys are good enough to be everyday players. Like, these are not guys that should be jerked in and out of a lineup, right? They should be everyday guys to be able to have the opportunity, but you have to prove it. You cannot be given that. You have to earn that. And if they go ahead and earn that, then I don't see why they can't be able to be staples of this franchise going forward. And that's what I'm looking for. I want to see who's going to be able to step up to the plate and, so to speak, and be able to take the reins.
Yeah, no, totally. I just wonder if like both of them are not going to be able to break out at the same time for the sheer, like, lack of playing time. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to be fighting for DH spots with Jorge Polanco. I mean, I don't know. Benj has looked like he's finally trying to catch up to major league pitching. He hasn't been the guy that we saw on opening day, but again, he's still a kid. I don't know if Beatty's going to get enough at bats in the lineup playing right field, and then he might be fighting for first base. Those two might be fighting each other for first base reps. So I'm hoping. I think part of me feels like I'm more. I don't know why. I could be wrong. I feel like I sense a bigger season from Mark Vientos than I do Brett Beatty. Maybe I'm prisoner of the moment, but
I think the biggest question is who needs to have a bigger season, right? That's the question. And I think Vientos needs to have a bigger season.
Yeah.
I think I think they love Brett Beatty, but I think Brett Beatty's ceiling is more of a Jeff McNeil super utility type of guy on this team, right? But they look at Mark Vientos as you can literally be a cornerstone, like big hitter, but you need to show us, right? So if you show us, then now we feel confident that 2 out of 3 years you were that guy for us, and now we're going to be able to trust you going forward. So I think Vientos needs to have a bigger year than Beatty. If Beatty gives you pretty much the same thing that he gave you last year, then they know that, okay, this is who he is. This guy can be able to do this on any given season when given the opportunity. But Mark Vientos can be able to give us 45 home runs. And that's the difference, right? That's the difference between the two. So I think Vientos needs to have a bigger season.
I agree.
Again, like I talked about, we talked about it quickly. Marcus Semien. I think Marcus Semien looked very, very good.
Huge.
Finally got some quality hits. The defense was always there. But if you take this series and just put it in the vacuum and just say if the season ended today, right? 257 batting average, pretty much like a little bit over 750 OPS. You sign up for that. Marcus Semien. Like, you know what I mean? I don't need him to do anything more than that. Remember, in the offseason when we had our shows, I said, what was the OPS that I wanted him to have? It was 750. I didn't want anything like if you gave me 750, I was over the moon. So the fact that that's what I expect from him, I'm not shocked because I knew that he had the capability. He's a good major league player. Is he 40 home runs like he hit with the Toronto Blue Jays? No. But is he a guy that can be able to run into 20? Absolutely. Is he a guy that can be able to drive in 70? Absolutely. Is he a guy that can be able to hit 260? Absolutely. So those are the things that I want to see. He might not get the 20, but at least he can be able to give you the 750 OPS, and that's what you want in a lineup as dangerous as this. Marcus Semien hitting 750 in regards to OPS, that's money.
Oh yeah, and it was just like it was a glimpse into being like, because I'm sure most Met fans were starting to think, oh my God, is this guy real? Did we just bring in a guy that's over the hill?
Yeah,
offensively?
We bought a lemon.
Exactly. And this was a glimpse of like, okay, no, this guy does still have it. Like this guy still can produce. So that was really encouraging. And again, just kind of runs with the theme that like this was a team that you would have basically cast off for dead once Juan Soto goes down. Yeah. And the fact that the bottom of the lineup and everybody else was able to produce and give us something to cheer about and enjoy really matters.
Yeah, absolutely. So you went ahead and talked about it. Let's go ahead and crack the seal on that. Juan Soto was diagnosed with a tight, right calf?
Yeah.
Right calf strain. He's on a 10-day DL. They called up Ronny Mauricio. Do you think that Ronny is going to have do you think he's going to get some opportunities here?
I don't know where. Like, I honestly don't know where. You're not Lindor at this point unless he needs it. He can't take a rest day, even though he's not hitting right now. You got to play him every day. I don't really totally feel confident about Ronny playing the outfield. I want to leave Mark Vientos at first base until otherwise, or he gives us a reason not to. And then I don't want to put him at third because I think Bo still needs the reps.
Yeah. I don't know where he's going to play. If there's anywhere you can put him, Tom, I think you can stick him in left. I think you can stick him in left because, athletically, he can be able to play the position. Do you need him to be a Gold Glover? No. You just need him to be able to not kill you. And I don't think that he's going to kill you in left field, right? If you are going to give him some opportunities.
He played. I think he might have played a little left field when he first came up. Am I wrong?
Yeah, he played a little left. Played a little left. So he's capable of doing that. But are you concerned about Soto at all?
I mean, this guy doesn't really miss games, so you'd be lying if you weren't like a little bit concerned. But it kind of, from sounds of it, it sounds like it's not too serious. I would rather the Mets just be cautious now. Like if he's got a little tweak and he's got to take a seat for a little bit, let him sit. We can, if anything happens, we can hopefully make up the ground. More than likely make up the ground. It's only It's only the 10-day IL. It's nothing too serious. So no, I'm not crazy scared. I'd like him to get onto the field. Hopefully there's no setbacks, but I'm not crazy scared. I think they're just being overcautious.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's exactly what it is because he spoke about it. He was just like, look, like I've felt worse in regards to having calf strains. He said this felt like very, very mild. He said the next day I felt fine. So he was shocked when he saw the imaging come back and that there was something there because he didn't feel anything really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But those things, it's just like you said, it's more about precautionary. This is your $800 million man. Like if you have a calf strain, couple of a week or a week and a half into the season, there's no reason to keep pushing you out there. We're not in a pennant race right now, so let him get all the rest that he needs right now because you do have the depth to be able to see what you have on this roster. See, a lot of times it's baseball is not like basketball where if you have a superstar player on the team and guys are in awe of this superstar player, they're kind of like just stand around and watch them. There's a Juan Soto factor that guys that's Juan Soto, right?
Yeah.
So if he's out of the lineup now, there's no, hey, Juan Soto is there. It's in the 2-hole. We know that he's either going to get a hit or get a walk. So you can kind of just put it in the bag, right? Now people are going to be like, all right, Juan Soto's out. We need to manufacture some runs. We need to focus more. We need to concentrate and really be able to take better at bats because we don't have the masher in the lineup right now. So it's going to actually make guys a little better because the situations, the opportunities are going to be there that might not have been there for them personally with a Juan Soto in the lineup, right? So when Juan Soto does come back, at least they had that experience to be able to be in a position that they can be able to get some runs in a situational hitting spot. That's what I like, is that you don't want your superstars to be out long, but you do want them out. You do want them to either get a break or if something does happen, you want to give guys an opportunity to see how they're going to be able to swim without the big studs in the lineup. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I know what you mean, but I think I look at it just like that's just what they're gonna have to do. Like the Mets they don't have any other options. Soto's gone for 10 days.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've seen so many times like good guys wind up getting hurt and then spending a lot of time on the IL, and then I've just seen lineups just go under, just hit the tank.
PTSD, man. Get rid of it.
I'm trying, and again, this series, if nothing else, gave me a little confidence that this team's going to be able to rise up above it and take. And especially, look, they got the D-backs coming to town who are nothing to write home about. So they should feast on this. Like nobody outside of Corbin Carroll can hit for that team.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be okay. I think they'll weather the storm.
Yeah. Armand said another reason Ronnie was called up is the plan to keep Robert healthy. Exactly. Like they want to keep Robert playing maybe 3 games a week, right? To kind of keep him fresh. So if you can be able to do that, keep him fresh while being able to either get Ronnie in there or somebody else in there, now you're maximizing Robert as well. So that's
true.
I can see that.
True. And I think he said that the plan is Jared Young and Beatty in the corners, and then Ronnie's here to help Polanco heal his Achilles, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So what do you? But I guess what does that mean, that they might have Ronnie DH a little?
Probably,
because that's what Polanco is going to be until his Achilles is until Mark Vientos gives him a reason to play Polanco. Right. Polanco's going to be the DH.
Or now you can be able to put Polanco on the 10-day and just give him that resting time. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, let him heal instead of him having to like really try to battle it out with this sore Achilles. Just let him heal. Let him heal.
Yeah, but you got to call somebody up to fill that spot. And I don't know, do you want, like, who are you going to call up? Is it Tommy Pham? It doesn't sound like Tommy Pham's too ready because he hasn't even had a spring training yet. They were talking on the broadcast that he's been down in Port St. Lucie playing with that team that's down there, and that he hasn't even seen minor league teams yet. So
Melendez?
Maybe. Honestly, I've been watching Nick Morabito.
He's going to be a major league player by this season. I'm not going to say, I don't know when, but he'll be called up way before September.
AJ Ewing looks. That's what it was so funny because like when I had the Juan Soto got hurt thing, I had it on the topic sheet that I sent you, and I said who's going to get called up,
Right.
and then I was like, damn it, they just called up Ronnie. We lost that segment completely.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, look, I'm excited to see Ronnie get at least a little bit of love in the field, or at least in the lineup, just because I really, really want to see if he can finally be something. But I don't know. I'm just skeptical that he's going to actually get. I'm just because he never gets it. I'm skeptical that he's going to really get the opportunity.
You might be right, but I'm just hoping that this guy just shows what he can do because he's so special. And he has all the tools, man. When the ball comes off of his bat, your head whips around like, who the hell hit that, right? Like that's the type of guy he is, right? I put him in that O'Neal Cruz type of power. Like O'Neal Cruz has gargantuan power, but he's just a terrible defender. I don't think Ronnie's that bad. Ronnie has great footwork, but he's kind of in that mold, right? Yeah. So hopefully if he gets an opportunity, man, with us, I'm not saying I don't want to see him go nowhere else and end up being, the next superstar for some other damn team. Do it here. Do it here, Ronnie. Right? Get your opportunity, seize it, and never look back. That's what I want for Ronnie. So this is a quick show, guys, because we're definitely just doing a series recap. What are your thoughts about, you mentioned it in regards to the D-backs, like, do you think that the bats stay hot against the D-backs?
I sure hope so. I'm a little worried because it sounds like we're heading for another little cold snap.
Yep.
So I'm a little worried about that with the bats. But I mean, it definitely wasn't too warm over in San Francisco. It's notoriously kind of chilly out there. So I don't know how close it is to up here. They already had to move the game. You saw that, right? They had to move.
They moved it from 7-10 to 4-10.
Yeah, so that worries me a little bit, but I just don't think the D-backs are very good, and the bat should stay hot. The bat should stay alive, and I just want to see an easy series win. This one should be a sweep. They should sweep the Diamondbacks, but I also said that about the Cardinals, and we all saw what happened.
Exactly. So let's go over the matchups, right? So we have Peralta against Gallen.
That should be an easy Peralta win.
That's game 1. And then game 2, we have Peterson versus Nelson.
Again, nobody hits on the D-backs. So again, I'm still I'll give you David Peterson.
And then for the series finale, we have, if it's announced, it is McLean against Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's Nolan. I mean, he's gonna make the Diamondbacks look absolutely silly.
Right.
As long as Mendy still wears those glasses, because Glasses Mendy has figured out how to get this team going.
Glasses Mendy.
It was so funny. Like I thought it to my head. Like, what game was it? Was it yesterday or the day? There was one of the games where Mendy was sitting in the dugout with like sunglasses on. I was like, those things better have been prescription.
Armand saying the Mets will go 4-2 this week. I think that's fair.
Who's coming in after the D-backs?
We have quick. I have the schedule right here. It's the A's.
Oh, they should beat the. I mean, I guess Armand, you're being realistic. I'm sure they're gonna that realistically they'll drop 2, but they should sweep both. The A's aren't good either.
He's being nice. Nice. 4-2 is modest. That's safe, right?
Yeah.
I'm going. Give me 5-1.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Give me 5-1. Damn those D-backs. We're gonna beat the hell out of them, and then maybe drop 1 to the A's for whatever reason. You know what I mean?
It'll be a Jeff McNeil revenge game.
Yeah. So Armand says, let's hope we don't see Mendy go to
Loveladies on Mars. I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And we don't know where he is. He got his suit fitted. He must be on Artemis. That's where the hell he's at. That's where the hell he's at. So
who gets a better real quick. I know we might get, you know what? I'm saving that question for Wednesday. I'm gonna save that question for Wednesday.
Okay, you'll save it for Wednesday. Cool. So listen, exactly. Mets won't see Sevy. So we won't see Sevy, which means that we should be able to handle them no problem.
That's true. Yeah, Sevy does do better when he's not. He does better on the road than he does in the minor league stadium that they're playing in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In that bandbox that they call a baseball park. So we'll be back with our normal show on Wednesday, but we will be doing these going forward when the series wraps up. We will try to at least get a little series wrap up. 20, 30-minute show. Get our thoughts out there and gear up for the next series, man. So any final thoughts, my good buddy?
This was a really refreshing week of baseball for the Mets. That made me really happy to see them rebound after that miserable showing against the Cardinals. And I'm just, if the rest of this lineup can perform, I know Lindor is coming. Lindor is coming.
Don't worry about Lindor.
I'm not worried about it. He's going to be just fine. Soto will be just fine. And if everybody's clicking on all cylinders, this is what we should be accustomed to. Series ending like this, as opposed to the Cardinals.
Listen, if the Mets can be able to take 2 of 3, 3 of 4, even gets a split here and there, I'm okay with that. Just don't pile up a lot of series losses for me. I don't care about those, but if you can be able to stay afloat, beat the teams that you should beat, and be competitive against the teams that are at the top of baseball, that's what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for much. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have enough talent to be able to deal with these teams that shouldn't be on the same diamond as you guys. Yep. So let's go ahead and prove that. And also too, I want to put this out there. My man, shouts to Alfred for go watch the Metropolitan Report.
Yeah.
He sent me a link about, there's a new package the Mets are offering, $57 a month. And I was just like, oh, that's nice. So I went ahead and saw what the details were. I'm just like, let me see what this is. I don't do standing room only. I'm too bougie for that. You're not going to get me to stand anywhere in no ballpark, okay? Too bougie. I like my seats. I like to sit somewhere. You ain't going to have me on standby and say, hey, you might get a seat today. I'm not doing that. Respect to anybody who wants to do that. You're not doing it for me. That's not what I do. Okay. I am too bougie to be able to do standing room only. So
I understand. I love it. I did it last year. I think it's cheaper than it was last year, which is cool. I think because it was like $75 a month last year. And I personally love it.
How many times did you go last year?
We went to a lot of games. Me and my brothers did a lot of Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think once the season started looking pretty bleak, we didn't go to as many as we did in the beginning.
Got you.
But look, I mean, if you don't have the money for season tickets, it's worth it. It is absolutely, like, I still can't believe that because I mean, I think they upped the amount of games that are blacked out. Like, I think it's like 6 or 8 games or something like that. But I mean, for basically full season tickets for like $340, it's
impressive.
It's the best deal in baseball. Like, it's crazy good.
Just to be in the ballpark, right? Like, if you just want to be in the mix, man, because like it's an event at the end of the day. Like, it's better. Sometimes, a lot of people don't like to watch baseball in their house. They want to be at a bar. They want to be somewhere. You just want to be in the mix. Somebody like me, I like to sit at a seat in the ballpark or be home, right? I'm okay with that, but other people are different. So this is a popular thing. A lot of people are signing up with this. So, if you do want to be in the mix, if you want to be at the ballpark and feel that environment and just be around it, then and you can't afford anything else than the standing room only, then take the standing room only and be able to get those experiences, because there's nothing like being in the ballpark. It really isn't.
Oh,
especially when it comes, like, if it's a pennant race and things are getting dicey and it's getting really, really exciting, you want to be there. No matter where you're sitting, no matter where you're at, you want to be there. So, New York is always on fire. It's always buzzing when the Mets are good. So, let's continue that, and let's have a good week. Just like Armand said, man, 4-2, 5-1. Hey, listen, you go 6-0. We're gonna be in here doing backflips, right? So, until Wednesday, we'll be back on Wednesday, 9:30. Silent Assassin will join us then, where we'll go ahead and break down some more stuff. So until Wednesday, stay safe, stay cool. Peace.